Hi, my name is Anna, and today I want to talk about periods again. But this video, I'm talking about the period app that I use to keep up with my period, keep up with my fertility awareness, and things like that. So I recorded this clip that you're going to see the same day that I did my first period video. So if you want to watch that, you can check that out. But then the video just got super long, so I decided, okay, let me cut this in half and have the second stop on the menstruation station. So here you go. This is the period app that I use. I'm going to kind of walk through it and then explain it more in the following clips. So something else I want to talk about is the period app that I use to track my periods, keep up with the menstruation information that I'm interested in. This is also just kind of like a fertility awareness thing for me. I'm not trying to conceive currently, but I feel like I love science. I love collecting data. Spreadsheets are my main man. So yeah, keeping data, collecting information so that you can use that and look at patterns and of your body, of your mental health, literally everything. That is so interesting to me. Now, you don't have to be interested in that to use this app. I just like collecting data, so that's why I love this app, because it's super simple if you're not interested in that, and if you are interested in having lots of data, it works for that too. So this is the app called Femometer, and I use it to keep up with my BBT, which is my basal body temperature. Keeping up with your basal body temperature is helpful when you are trying to conceive, because it allows you to see when would be the best moment for your fertility, like when you are ovulating or when would be the right time for you to conceive. It also helps you keep up with conception, or when you might be getting, when you might get pregnant or things like that. So if you're interested in trying to conceive or fertility, it's a great app for that. If you're not interested in trying to conceive, or if you are not interested in fertility, you can still use this app and not use the basal body temperature aspect of the app. It still has lots of things to be used for, and I'm just going to show you the app and talk to you about it through there, so that way I'm not rambling so much. But love that app, love the data, super great. So we're going to start out with the app, and this is the home screen. So it shows you the most recent temperature that you've taken, the date, when you took the reading, and if you're on your period, what day of the period that you're on. This app is updating constantly, so sometimes the home screen looks different, and I'm sure even by the end of this year, this video won't reflect the aesthetics of the app. But it also gives you health tips that you can swipe up from the bottom based off of the time of your cycle that you're in. And so along the bottom are the tabs that it has, and at the top right corner is where you can look at your settings for your app specifically. You can set reminders for yourself, a password for this app. You can set up a partner account. So your partner could download this app and then keep up with your menstrual cycle as well. So that way you're not having to communicate back and forth on the days that you're most fertile. It'll just kind of update them on that progress. So there's a lot of things that you can do in the settings for yourself. Moving over to the second tab down at the bottom for the calendar, this is where it kind of keeps up with your period and fertility in a calendar form visually. The period is the pink section, and your most fertile period or your ovulatory period is the blue section. And at the bottom, I've clicked the plus sign, and that takes you to this screen where you can put in your symptoms. So you can put in symptoms for your period if you're keeping up with your period in this app. It also has a lot of other sections for a lot of other areas. So you can keep up with your cervical mucus, which is the discharge that you excrete, which I think is helpful to know more about your body and the cycles that it's going through, and whether or not you're going through something different or than what you typically would go through. You can catalog when you have sexual activity and any contraceptives that you use during that process. There's a lot more than just what is listed here. You can click the add more button and turn on or turn off the things that are relevant to you. And you can also keep up with the time that you had sex, unless you forgot it, which is definitely a thing as well. You can keep up with your weight in the base app, but they do have a specific scale that measures body fat and works with this app intuitively. So I would recommend getting this scale if you really want to use this as a weight tracker. But there are so many other things that you can keep up with on your body. This is not really a food app. I have another recommendation if you want to keep up with your food, so let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. But you can also keep up with your sleep, whether or not it was good, how long you slept for. And you can keep up with your mood here. This is a very good general app to do so, and I kept up with my mood in this app for a good while. But also, I have another mood app that I use that is more specific to moods and keeping up with your patterns throughout your life. So if you like that recommendation, leave a comment and let me know, and I will talk about some of the other apps that I use with my life. This is a pretty good exercise app in terms of having a lot of options. You can always click the add more button, and they have a ton more exercises that you can really involve into this app. You can also leave notes, but it doesn't let you record when you worked out or for how long, and it doesn't keep up with calorie. So they also have a symptoms area so that you can list all of the symptoms that you're experiencing with your body, like aches and pains, headaches, bowel movements. All types of things are in this symptoms area, and they're constantly updating it. You also have a medication tab to list any of the medicines that you are currently on or have taken or whatever, however they affect your lifestyle. You can also, they have a notes section so you can keep up with your vitamins here. And then they also have whether or not you have drank alcohol, or a whole nother note section that is not related to anything else, that you can just leave a note based off of what you were going through that day. There are so many more sections than just the ones that are listed here, and I've turned off several because I'm not trying to conceive currently, but you can also start a pregnancy and add details to that as well. So on the third tab of the bottom of the screen, you have the Analytics tab, and this kind of talks about where you are in your cycle based off of your BBT information or just your period. It can tell you about previous cycle interpretations, your symptoms based off of what you've put in the past and the data it's collected on you, what is normal for your premenstrual cycle, just kind of give you a heads up of what you've input and how likely it is for you to experience that during your cycle. And also it compares those values to other people in your age group that also use this app for how likely or regularly other people also experience those things. In your cycle statistics, you can talk about, or it shows you, so it shows you the averages here, and it can show you how long your ovulatory period is, your menstrual period, your luteal and your follicular phase during these cycles. It also gives you like a little scoring on how well you do your BBT if you use that function of the app. And you can also keep up with the type of symptoms that you're occurring and how they're affecting you during different stages of your cycle, which also goes in hand with sleep. So here at the bottom, you can kind of see all of your cervical mucus options. You can click and unclick some of them to turn them on and turn them off to see the data in a visual format. And you can also export this data into like an Excel spreadsheet or something that you can print out so that you can show it to your doctor. So on the fourth tab from the bottom, we have gone into the BBT area. So this is where the BBT is actually, the data is stored and is useful. And I've just turned it sideways so that you can see it more easily. But your BBT, your basal body temperature, is something that is going to fluctuate over your menstrual cycle. And typically the period is a lower temperature, your follicular phase is a lower temperature, and the beginning of your ovulatory phase is a lower temperature. And then when you ovulate, your temperature should go up. And then for the remainder of your cycle, your temperature should be higher than it was in the beginning of your cycle, all the way until the day of your period, in which your temperature will drop again. So this BBT chart, this basal body temperature chart, puts all of the temperatures that you've been collecting into one spot, and on the top right area of the screen you can reference curves for normal ovulation, luteal deficiencies, different types of circumstances that your body may be going through, and relate those to the curves that you are producing. This does not substitute actually going to a medical professional to talk about your results, but that's why I think this app is so great, because you can export this as a file that you can print or share with your doctor and talk about the data that you've collected and talk about what it means for you. My line is pretty low, so I have a luteal issue that I'm working on, but it can also optimize your curve in the top right to show you what it kind of should be looking like. And also there's the interpreted section just to the left of the optimize button, so that it can help you interpret what your data means and what it's telling you, what this app is telling you with this information. So I clicked the clipboard at the bottom of the screen to get more details about that, and you can scroll on this page to see the symptoms that you've put in, keep up with the sexual activity that you've been experiencing, any of the cervical mucus that you've recorded. So the last tab at the bottom of the screen is like a learning tab. They change this section all of the time. Now they have some advice from medical professionals in this section. It used to just be little classes or little articles that you could read and gain more knowledge on, but this is basically just like a learning center. Learn more about where you are, share your experiences with others, and really relate to other people and learn more about your body. So that is the Femometer app. Alrighty, so I hope that you liked my period app that I use, Femometer. I love that app. If you have a different app that you use, leave it down in the comment section below, kind of talk about it and give people more options in terms of keeping up with their menstruation and their menstrual cycle, and maybe even fertility as well. Yeah, so that's the second stop at Menstruation Station. Woo woo! I just want to say, do what's important to you. Other people will like your presence. They're going to want you around and to do the things that they want to do, so they're going to want you to be around them. But don't change your life just because you want this person to stay your friend or you want to be close to this person, unless that's what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Do what's important to you. And don't let other people change your mind about things that you want to do. Even if you change your own mind later, that's still something that you came up with. You can seek guidance from people too. You can ask what other people's opinions are, and then that can help you formulate what is important to you. But don't struggle. Don't try and force yourself to do things that aren't what you want. Stand up for yourself because you're important. I love you. I hope you have a good day.